God is here in the city of Paris, but he seems to look different to different people. Myself, personally, I'm still finding my rhythms of connection to Jesus within community here in the city. For me, one of the beautiful things about Paris is that I find lots of ways all around to connect to Jesus, whether by the inspiring physical beauty of the city, the nature found in small pockets within beautiful parks and manicured gardens, or finding meeting places for people of faith. However, lots of people have other viewpoints on who God is, viewpoints which are different from the truth that I hold to. We have, for example, a huge Muslim population here in Paris. I and other city dwellers who are Muslim connect over the fact that we both recognize Jesus as important, and that's definitely a talking point between our two communities of faith. This city also boasts other markers dedicated to ethnic communities, such as museums that highlight religious practices of these communities. Some of these museums include the Musée d'Art et d'Histoire du Judaïsme, or the Museum of Jewish Art and History, le Musée du Shoah, or the Holocaust Museum, and le Musée du Monde Arabe, the Museum of the Arab World. There are also exhibits found within well-known museums like the Louvre that highlight people of faith. Not only that, but there are many French literature, art, and filmmakers of diverse or no faith who have been made famous and whose faith plays a role in their works. Additionally, physical markers exist throughout the city that happen to highlight people of faith, such as the plaques found on buildings throughout Paris that indicate the homes of families and children that had been abducted during the Holocaust and German occupation of France. So, faith practice or not, we find that France and Paris specifically boast indicators of faith's existence. Furthermore, there are a lot of people who, regardless of their faith, practice the idea of loving their neighbors as themselves, which is the second greatest commandment according to Jesus. The first of which is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, as seen in Mark chapter 12. So here in Paris and France overall, there are definitely many organizations dedicated to showing support and care to others, from local organizations such as Les Restaurants du Cœur, which feeds people experiencing homelessness, to large international organizations like Médecins Sans Frontières, or Doctors Without Borders, which brings medical care to people in international conflict zones. There's even a governmental website dedicated to volunteering called I Want to Help, or Je veux aider, currently advertising spots for 100,000 volunteering opportunities throughout France. Parisians aren't known for following the Lord, but I do know that Sundays are generally a day of calm and quiet, with slow, somber starts to the morning. Even my local boulangerie closes on Sundays. However, that doesn't mean that people are really into God. Lots of people couldn't care less about God or the idea of religion. And even though many, regardless of faith, work to love their neighbors as themselves in this city, I'll be honest with you. It's easy here in the city of Paris to forget about our neighbors when we get so caught up in what we're doing and when we're wearing what I call our metro city faces. In other words, when we're trying to stay sharp and alert to what's going on around us without looking like we're trying to stay sharp and alert to what's going on around us. There's lots of need in this city. Lots of people are working together of different faith or of no faith to meet those needs, which is inspiring and encouraging. And at the same time, like I said, it's just easy to forget on a human level the importance of reaching out to others when you're used to seeing lots of people every day living in need on the streets. And I don't know what all those reasons are for their living on the streets. Some reasons are cultural, I'm sure, like the gypsy peoples who maybe might seem to be living in need, but might actually be exactly where they want to be and living the lives that they're longing to live, free from particular restraints. Or maybe not. I can't tell you for sure because I haven't made any gypsy friends. And we see other people who I really couldn't tell you why they're living on the streets. And these observation just speaks to the need that I can see. There are lots of needs around us that are unaccounted for. Lots of psychological needs, emotional needs, and of course, spiritual needs too. I do wonder how people are trying to meet their spiritual needs here in the city, because this city, ironically, is full of so many places of worship, but I don't know how accurately they represent the number of worshipers in this city. But I love this city. I'm grateful to be in this city. I'm grateful that I get to be myself in the city of Paris and find places of worship. That is such a privilege and a blessing. And I'm grateful to be able to have conversations with lots of people whose lives look different from my own, who don't find spiritual practice or worship or Jesus necessarily pertinent or pertinent at all to their own lives. And I'm grateful that I get to have these conversations. So Paris is a city that has definitely won my heart. And as far as religion, people seeking God, just like needs, well, I'm not really sure that I can say how many there are. Just as there are quiet needs all around us, I know that there must be quiet prayers all around us. Prayers for situations going on, like the current retirement age debates, prayers about what to do next in one's lives, or how to educate or raise one's children, prayers that might sound like, God, I need friends, are you there? So, Paris is a city of a quiet and strong faith. I look forward to what the future holds in store for it.